mentioned too is that companies are now getting aligned with this. So that's why we're seeing, some companies are actually using this as what they think it's going to be a competitive advantage to them, because now the other driver of ESG is data, and all this data. There's a lot more access to data of people that are analyzing companies, analyzing funds. They have access to what a company's carbon footprint is, or what their executive compensation structure is, and it's a lot easier to put a standardized score on a company or a fund and say, this is what companies like Morningstar are doing, where they actually have a standardized rating system where they go out and you can look and see this is a company's or a fund's ESG score. And you can make a decision based solely off that ESG score. Either they rate very highly, or they rate very low, or they rate somewhere in the middle. You may have a threshold where you say anyone that doesn't have a score low, anyone that has a ESG score lower than 80, you don't want to invest in. And companies are now saying, well, I don't want to be excluded. What do I have to do to get my number up so that I'll be considered by investors? So the companies are definitely taking notice. And another number that came out was of the ETFs that experienced the most inflow of money this year. The top 3 are all ESG funds. So there's definitely money that's going into it. It's also the institutional money too. So now pensions and some big mutual funds are what's putting money into it. So it's not just your mom and pop investor. It's the entire industry is taking notice of it.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing. First of all, I want to just